So I just woke up, tickets are on sale, and they just released a new trailer, and they were all sold out. Every single theater, auditorium is sold out. I thought you guys didn't like these movies. Doomsday released its newest trailer, and I think it is going to be the coolest day for any cinephile, movie lover, fanatic nerd to experience what is going to be now officially confirmed as Doomsday. That's going to be awesome. I don't care how many people dislike Marvel movies. I'm someone who loves them. I'm someone who's always going to be there day one. And I cannot wait to experience what's going to be one of Denis Villeneuve's greatest films and the Russo brothers' greatest films. I'm really liking what they're doing here. I know there's been talk of like there's been no build up for Doctor Doom. And I think that's fine. I think for a character of this caliber, I think for him to just show up and to shock the Avengers in the same way that the audience is seeing them for the first time and kind of throw them off guard and catch them off balance, I think that's a great choice. And I know Robert Downey Jr. has played one of the greatest heroes in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and to have him play one of the most treacherous and dangerous villains and foes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. As much as I dislike the casting, I think that should have gone to someone else, to a Romanian actor. But you know, the movie has yet to come out. I'm loving what I'm hearing from his voice. He seems to be having an accent down for this character. So if he's willing to go all in on it and actually show the love and care for this character as he did for Tony Stark, then I think we're in for a good time. Just from the little notes that we're hearing of Doctor Doom, of Victor Von Doom, this is going to be something really incredible to see on screen.
Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
I do have some theories on how this is going to play out. I mean, just in terms of, they're releasing a new version of Avengers Endgame, which is called Avengers Endgame Encore. And that's set to have extra footage, you know, a direct sequence that leads into Doomsday. So I'm very curious on how this movie plays out and how this will lead into Secret Wars. Because I know Kevin Feige has stated that he does want to do a soft reboot, not a complete, like, full reboot, like a full revamp, but in the sense of like Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars and how that gently just redirected things in a different direction. But I'm very excited to see how this movie plays out. I'm very excited to see all these characters again, as much as it feels like a very Jangling of the Keys moment. But, you know, it's Marvel. I'm a big fan of Marvel. I'm a big fan of these characters. You know, I have watched every single of their movies in theaters with my family, and it has been a very big spectacle event for us to sit down and watch. And I still think those two movies, Infinity War and Endgame, have been my best experiences in a movie theater with a big audience, you know, cheering, being all excited, crying, being, you know, just united in this, in the same way that all these characters are being united for Doomsday. We're seeing the old cast of X-Men characters. We're seeing Scott Summers as Cyclops, you know, finally getting the treatment that he deserves. We're seeing Professor Xavier. We're seeing Magneto. We're seeing Mystique. Which I'm loving just how much they're going into this. This does feel like the swan song of the Fox characters. We see Loki here. We see Thor. We see Steve Rogers, which has been shown, you know, rocking that Home Depot outfit going on, that dad fit going on. But I'm really excited. This feels like a Jangling of the Keys. Like, you know, there's this character. There's this character. Oh wait, there's this character. But I think they're doing it for a reason. If it has a plot reason, if it has a story, thematic following of why these characters are joining up together to defeat this foe, and it to have consequences and circumstances that align with the story, then it's going to be something special. You know, I mentioned the theaters being sold out, and it just shows that people still care about these movies if people are still willing to be seated for it. And I think that's really cool. I think that's really awesome. This is the most beautiful I've seen the MCU in a while. I think the testament could be made for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 or Thunderbolts, and more recently Spider-Man Brand New Day, which I cannot wait for. I'm counting the days away till I can watch that movie. But this is looking to be a more cinematic film, and I do like that. I think what the biggest problem for me in Marvel has been that it looks very out of place. You know, you'll see characters. I think the biggest victim of this is Ant-Man Quantumania, or Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Sorry, it just looks like the actor is in a green screen, and it kind of takes away from the immersion of believing that these characters are in a world that we can only imagine. You know, so for them to be taking this cinematic approach, it is going to feel a lot more immersive and like they're actually there. You know, they're actually fighting Doctor Doom, like one of the greatest villains ever for the Fantastic Four, for any hero. And speaking of powerful, him stopping Stormbreaker with 2 fingers, that's insane. That's really cool. I'm not fully immersed in Doctor Doom. I don't know everything about him. I just know that MF Doom got his name from him. Super. Speaking of immersion, what the hell is Infinity Vision? I know that they couldn't get the IMAX screens because Dune Part 3 took all of that. So is this their version of an IMAX, you know, format? Because if that's the case, then how does that work? Because I'm looking at the show times and it says that it's the most immersive screen and most immersive sound, the most immersive projection. So I'm like, okay, that's literally IMAX. So is this gonna be a brand new format that Disney has invented? Or is it only gonna be for Avengers Doomsday? Because I'm really curious on what Infinity Vision means. Because what it sounds like to me is just IMAX. But since they couldn't get the screenings for that, they're making their own version? I don't know how that works, but I was just curious because I was just like, okay, that's just IMAX. That's IMAX from Walmart. It's like we have IMAX at home and it's Infinity Vision. But yeah, it's gonna be very fun. I'm very excited for Doomsday. You know, coming out of Dune Part 3 and going into Avengers Doomsday, it's gonna be very fun. But yeah, let me know what you guys think. Are you guys excited for this? Do you think it's going to be good? What are your expectations for it? Are you excited to see most out of Robert Downey Jr.'s performance? Do you think it's gonna be something like Oppenheimer? Is he gonna do something completely different that we're not expecting, which is what I think? You know, very talented actor. Very, very interested to see his take on this character. But yeah, that's all I gotta say about this for right now. I will be talking about Spider-Man Brand New Day when that comes out because I'm so excited for that. I'm reading up on comics. I think currently I'm on Life Story. And after I finish Spider-Man Life Story, I'm going to be reading The Other, which is one of the concepts that they're taking for Brand New Day. But I'm very excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think that's one of my highlights. But yeah, that's all I got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day.